Hi everybody, Timothy here. I greet you all in Jesus Christ's mighty name. It is February 5th, 2026, and you're listening to yet another episode of the Brother Timothy Clark podcast. Hey, I wanted to come in here and let you all know some fantastic news. So, over the last 2 to 3 years, I have been trying to get Garageband on my iPad and on my iPhone to work correctly. Well, a number of weeks ago, I ran into a gentleman on Threads, and this guy was totally sighted, but he dabbled with voiceover. And he said, hey, you know what? If you hover over the pages, you have 11 different pages there. If you hover over the pages and try to swipe, it isn't going to work. And that is the thing that I've been trying to fix for the last 2 to 3 years, because I'm stuck on the keyboard page 1. And this gentleman's like, I don't know how to fix this. And I didn't know how to fix it. Okay. And I'm thinking, well, this guy is totally sighted, so I don't have a whole lot of hopes in him figuring out voiceover to the degree of where he'll be able to actually troubleshoot this. But, of course, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he could surprise me. And he did just that. Contacted me back a couple of minutes later and said, hey, I think I figured this out. He said, if you hover over the keyboard section where it shows the instruments for your keyboard, he said, if you swipe to your left or to your right there, it looks like it's actually changing the pages on your page picker. He said, I can see the little thing change and voiceover is reading different results. And I wrote him back. I said, are you sure? And this guy, God bless him, actually sent me a screen recording on Threads of him using voiceover. And I wrote him back. I said, I'll be, because it absolutely worked. And I said, I'm going to have to try this tomorrow. And so I opened up GarageBand on my iPad, I think is what it was. Or no, it was my phone, because I said I'd have to get GarageBand back on my iPad. So I opened it up on my phone, and what do you know? It actually worked. So I download GarageBand, put it back on the iPad, and it worked there too. And I'm going, oh. So I write this guy back. I said, are you blind? Because I've been trying to figure this out for the last 2 to 3 years. And if you're going to tell me you can see, and he writes me back and says, I actually can see. I mess with voiceover because I want to try to help every musician that I can. And, you said that you were blind, so I knew I'd have to use voiceover and try to figure this out for you. And I read him back. I said, man, I really appreciate that. So to the unnamed guy on Threads who pointed out this GarageBand fix or GarageBand hack, thank you. I wish I would have saved the guy's username, but I get so many comments, so many notifications on Threads that I do not know the gentleman's username. And so, to this gentleman, thank you. You have been more than instrumental. If you catch what I just did there. You've been more than instrumental in solving the problem that I have had for 2 to 3 years with GarageBand. So I wanted to just make a quick post and say, hey, look, there are wonderful people out there who try to help one another. Kindness is still a thing that happens today. We're in this world and everything seems so dark. It seems so bleak. It seems so remote. But Folks, I'm here to tell you kindness does not fall short. There is a lot of kind people in this world, and you may be going through some struggles right now. You may be going through some hard times right now. But God is still in control. God is still on the throne. And there are still people out there who are willing to go above and beyond to help. No matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, you are not alone. And so I wanted to put this episode out as a thank you to the gentleman who made this information known to me. And I also wanted to put this out as a means of encouragement to people who may be facing trials and struggles. You know, it was still a trial to have to not have Garageband for the last 2 years. Of course, that's minor compared to what a lot of people are going through. But Garageband was my favorite digital audio workstation. Garageband was my favorite piece of technology to make music with, and now I have it back, and I'm able to get back into making more syncopated tunes, and it is truly a blessing. And so, you know, look, no matter what your trial is, remember, a trial only lasts for a season. Ecclesiastes 3 talks about how there's a season for just about every event that we're going through in our lives. And so remember, a season only lasts a time, and then you move on to another season. Your trial will not last forever. And so be encouraged in that truth. So with that being said, thank you for joining me for this episode of the podcast. And we will do it all over again, only different next time. And y'all take care. Until then, this is Timothy saying so long, and may God bless you all real good in Jesus Christ's mighty name. If you'd like to reach out to me via email, my email address is TimothyClarkMusic@me.com. My website address is TimothyClarkMusic.wordpress.com. And my name is Timothy. Till next time. See you.